Good morning, America, and welcome to Revolutionary Reports on 542 ANV, America's first, best, and only news broadcasting station. I'm John Washington.
And I'm Abigail Ross. Today we have a special live broadcast from Philadelphia, where our news reporter, George Jefferson, is reporting on the events surrounding the Constitutional Convention, where the nation's new Constitution has just been signed. George? Are you there? George?
Who hired that guy?
I don't know, hopefully he's
Why would he even be?
Oh. Thank you, George, for that first and hopefully last report.
Yes, very enlightening. Now let's swing over to Betsy Hancock with today's forecast. Betsy?
Thanks, Sugar. The forecast for today is 100% sunshine with me in your life. Highs for today are 84 and lows are at 69. This week's forecast is sunny, 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 and sunny, honey. But for this weekend, it's going to be rainy and gross because George is taking me to the wonderful island of Rhode Island. Back to you, sweet thing. I mean, Johnny.
Thanks, Betsy. Let's go to commercial, shall we?
Trollop.
Hey kids, the coolest new CD is back. It's Kids Bop -3 with all of today's top revolutionary hits, such as Party in the New USA.
I
Throw my hands up, they're playing my song, the redcoats ran away.
I kissed a Brit.
I kissed a Brit and I liked it, the taste of her fancy chapstick. Revolution Girls! Revolution Girls, they're unforgettable. Big dresses, big wigs on top. Don't forget about those wartime hits such as Leg in the Air. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, my leg is in the air.
Freedom back.
I'm bringing freedom back. Yep. Those British boys don't know how to act. Yep. Order now!
Welcome back to Revolutionary Reports. I'm Abigail Ross.
And I'm John Washington. For our top story today, we have an intellectual debate for our viewers. Let's send it to James Revere for more.
Good morning, America. Today we have two opposing viewpoints in our debate. Anti-Federalist Martha Adams versus Federalist Thomas Franklin. Let's get started with our first question. Mr. Franklin, what is your position on the newly enacted Constitution?
Well, James, I believe that the switch to a stronger central government was desperately needed in order for this infant country to go forward at all. Under the Articles, all we had was uncontrollable chaos.
Martha, your rebuttal?
While I agree with the Articles of Confederation, we're not perfect. This new Constitution gives an unimaginable amount of power to a single entity and threatens the rights of individual states. Isn't that what we just escaped from in England?
Not at all. England has a monarchy. This creates three different branches of government with a system of strict checks and balances so that no one section gains too much power over the other.
Yes, but how can we ensure the rights of the people when only certain individuals have the right to lead?
That's what the bicameral system is for. The people elect the individuals that represent their state in the House of Representatives. Then that House elects the Senate, and then both come together to create the legislative body. So the people are included, Martha.
What does that even mean? Who has ever heard of an effective government such as this? Why on earth should we throw out an experienced form of government for this atrocity? In my opinion, we shouldn't jump into deep waters if we don't know what lies at the bottom. We are getting ourselves into a mess.
You ignorant fool! How can we hope to have any sort of progress in this nation if we refuse to take distant leaps into the unknown, boldlessly and fearlessly taking steps to create a better future for ourselves and our posterity?
By taking these distant leaps, we are actually taking the chance of destroying any hope for our posterity and dangerously threatening the unknown. If we fall into this thin ice, we are abruptly awoken from any dreams we have for a better future. But of course, being a prominent merchant of your state, you have no need to be concerned for the future, do you? You think you're pretty well set. Well, what about the subsistence farmers who are struggling alive today? You didn't think about them, did you? Well, what would they do? What would they say about this new Constitution?
You anti-federalists are all the same. All you think about the poor farmers out there that have nothing to say. Well, I'm here to tell you, Martha, that there are more people out there than just farmers. Our country is an intricate system of farmers, merchants, artisans, fur trappers, and hundreds of other skills. This government will create commercial growth in which no one interest group rises above the other.
If that is true, then why can't every person vote on the new legislation and whatnot? Why does it have to be privileged people?
You want to have an election every time something needs to happen on the national level? That would be madness. People have enough personal matters to deal with. That's why they elect representatives to do the voting for them. It would be complete insanity to have the people vote every few months. Although from what I hear, you're no stranger to insanity, Martha.
What is that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what I mean. The whole aggressive debaters community thinks you're off your rocker. That debate last week with Patrick Mason, what was that about?
That is none of your business, Thomas, and it was a complete accident. I didn't want that guy to end up in the infirmary.
Well, he did, and you're to blame. You're absolutely out of it.
I don't think
What
that...
about you? I heard the problems between you and Lydia.
Maybe we shouldn't...
This is a family matter and it's none of your concern. Besides, I love her dearly.
That's not what Sally said.
Since when do you talk to Sally?
Personal lives are not a concern.
Since this whole thing started.
Well, poo on Sally and poo on you.
Don't you walk away from me.
Back to you, John and Abigail.
Whoa, that chick was insane.
What is that supposed to mean?
And commercial.
Hey America, I'm here with the newest product, pocket-sized Constitution. The special thing about it is, you can fit it in your pocket. Let's hear from some of our viewers about how much they love this product. Shelley from Richmond, Virginia says, I love the Pocket Constitution, but I forget the 4th article. Well, Shelley, it's about state relations. Drew from Boston, Massachusetts says, when I read the pocket-sized Constitution, I feel like a real founding father. Well, Drew, you are. And you can be too when you order the new pocket-sized Constitution. Order now before it gets amendment and get 8 more for free!
Welcome back to Revolutionary Reports on 542 A and V, sponsored by Pocket Size Constitution. Get all of your articles in one article of clothing. I'm your host, John Washington.
And I'm your co-host, Abigail Ross. Now let's throw it over to Alexander Madison for what's new in the world of sports. Alexander?
Good morning, sports lovers! I'm Alexander Madison with a jam-packed edition of All-American Sports. Let's get started. Last night, New York hosted the first annual pig wrestling competition. The anonymous winner was last seen early this morning in a local pig barn. Local authorities are now investigating this case. The interstate log race competition is continuing throughout New York today. 320 people have already made it through New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. The first competitor to make it all the way down to Georgia without stopping gets a free log cabin. It's simply required, of course. This afternoon, our station, 542 A and B, will be hosting the Cherry Tree Chop Down for the Toothless. All proceeds will go to the Washington family. And finally, the world-renowned competitive wood eater, Woody Spleens, will be visiting today to compete against any willing challenger in a tree-eating competition. Don't forget to bring those kids. There will be a free beaver petting zoo and crafts. That's all for today. Tune in to tomorrow's show to hear about information on how to sign up for the upcoming squirrel spotting competition. I'm Alexander Madison. Back to you, Abigail.
Thanks, Alexander. Finally, something normal.
Yeah, let's see how long that lasts. On that note, let's view an unbiased educational explanation of the new government proposed by the Constitution with the very experienced, very wise Benjamin Hamilton.
Is that the old dude?
Hush. What a great segment. So smart, so handsome.
Sure. Well, I believe that wraps it up for this edition of Revolutionary Reports on 542 A and V, America's first, best, and only news broadcasting station. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.
Have a good day, America.